clue. This is where he is, but Six is in with a third now. The hat trick has been secured. Bialy going to go pushing through, does find damage. That's the bomb dropped, and oh, Bialy! That was fantastic. VP, they managed to win themselves a fifth. Bialy is a remarkable man. And at the end, he secures them a necessary round.
Are you flirting?
A little bit.
10-5, a 9-round streak from EnVy gives them a dominating T side. As said, we have seen some strong T sides from Virtus.Pro recently and of course in the past, so it is possible for them to bring this back on train. They're going to want to get off to a good start with that pistol round if they are going to have a chance of turning things back. But that's one thing I've learned from Virtus.Pro. Never count them out. You can never, ever count out Virtus.Pro. If anybody is going to be able to string a ludicrous amount of rounds together, it is going to be this team of Hol for a long, long time now. But as said, this pistol round could be enough to put them to bed. A possible 13-5 lead for EnVy if they do manage to take this, and of course the 2 follow-up rounds. We are going to see a decent amount of utility actually invested in for Virtus.Pro. Some sort of setup will be coming your way.
Pasha and Bialy over here towards Ivy, going to start to push on in, and actually, in the meantime, VP, they've been allowed to get players out through main. Kiyashima, though, how does he do that? He finds himself 2. Snacks and Taz both gone down. And that's the bomb drop middle of the site. Luckily enough, Pasha's able to claw back some ground. Happy in the meantime, going to get rid of Neo. Pasha in with a second. XMS now with his back against the wall. Bialy going toe-to-toe with Happy. XMS going to be able to get rid of one. It falls to Bialy once again to clutch this out. He takes the first, but XMS is there to trade. And EnVy, they've won themselves the pistol round. From here, it's onwards and upwards.
And now things become very, very difficult. But one thing that EnVy are pretty well known for is these risky second round buys, which could give a chance for Virtus.Pro to actually get themselves back into this. Now, the one man who does normally buy a rifle isn't here, so he's going to be replaced by another man who's buying the rifle instead. So it is going to be Kiyashima, literally just filling in the exact same thing that Screen normally does. But Virtus.Pro are actually not going to invest very much into this round. Maybe hoping to try and get a bomb plant. Now, if that's the case, they're likely to try and head over towards this B site and just overwhelm this CT side. The problem is, this strategy may work against a lot of teams. I don't feel like it's going to work against EnVyUs, because they're a team that go for these SMGs. They go for the weapons that are going to shred you if you don't have any armor. And also, because they've gone for these weapons, they normally play very close, which means RPK is literally sitting on that B ramp. He's waiting for somebody to try and push into this angle. And without a bomb plant, okay, it will help them quite a bit going into their first round buy. But it means they're not going to be getting a buy any earlier, which is likely to be what they're aiming for here.
They're stacked up over here at B. Happy holds it close. He doesn't find as much damage as he would have liked. Now the push goes in. The MP9 tries to shred them down. It's RPK. He does make a stand, but he only takes 2. The bomb plant will come in. EnVy desperately trying to make their way in a repick this site. XMS is in the back line. Pasha, aim punch going to play into this fully, but he's doing damage. XMS mops them up. MP9 prevails. The aim punch stops VP from getting much done, but the bomb plant there, combined with the small investment from VP in this round, means I think they can actually get a buy in the next.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised that they managed to get away with that, because Happy was literally waiting for them to push through that smoke, avoids the flash, just doesn't quite manage to connect. And now this is where things become a little bit interesting, because, as said, EnVy are normally pretty proficient in just going for these SMGs. Looking like they may upgrade a few of them, because I think they have seen this coming with possibly what was invested or just how easy it was to kill a couple of these players. So they are at least going to have themselves 3 rifles. However, if Virtus.Pro can win this round, it means that EnVy are going to have next to no money to go into the next, and they will have actually at least saved themselves from being 13-5 down. So another crunch round for VP. The last one was a definite success. But when you look at the overall scoreline, that individual success, which doesn't even net them around, may not be quite enough. And, well, look at this from EnVy, never mind. Taz, well, he does. He was watching. He was waiting. He was playing patiently, and he finds that opening kill. They are going to see the rifle picked back up by the CT side. Keo, the only man left over towards his B side of the map. So if he falls, we could see a barrel onto the site. Close range position from Happy, with Pasha looking to try and sneak through. XMS playing more of a bait roll, but it's going to be checked anyway. However, Happy will still win the opening battle, but he needs to do a little bit more.
Yeah, and with Snacks in the backline like that, it was not meant to be. Keo, 1 versus 4. About to go toe-to-toe with Bialy, wins that first, so now he's into the 1 versus 3. Spots out Snacks inside of the site. Time ticking down. It's Keo who's on the clock. That flash delays the push in that much more. Gonna go to grab himself the AK. Might just now look to try and save. And yeah, no one from VP gonna be peeking into this. Don't want to give any way for Keo to make his way back into this round. They've already got Neo in the backline to try and shut him down when he goes for the save. They've read this well. Keo players closing in from all sides. Will be allowed to survive. No, he's not. Neo finds him. It's always in those last few seconds, and that timer seems to last a lifetime. And that's the round to go the way of VP. They look now to try and have a resurgence here. There's no money left for EnVy. They're going to be partial buying down about $2,000, putting in what they can.
Except the tank.
DK, a man who's not afraid of commitment, fully commits into this one, has himself the CZ in armor. And, you know, with that combination, he is a massive threat to try and contend with.
Well, that's the thing. Even if he was to go for a similar buy in the next round, for RPK, it pretty much is a full buy. We are going to have an aggressive push out of Ivy, though. Bialy lines up a first, but there is RPK, gets one back, and they are actually doing a lot of damage at least. Further aggression to come out from Happy. Will have heard the drop into Pop. And may be able to just sneak around on the flank here. They've got to be careful. Neo will be able to take down one. Happy... It depends. He knows where Neo is. I think that's why he's actually switched up his plan. Neo, I wonder if he is just going to get rid of some of the weaponry that was dropped over towards that Ivy position, or maybe just defend it instead, because Happy is likely to want to try and retrieve one of those AKs, and Neo, he is going to be the guard. Spots him out. Clean, quick headshot, and reduces the deficit to 5.
It's going to be, once again, another partial buy-in for EnVy. Didn't work out for them in the previous. VP slowly but surely paving the path to this comeback. This is a match that really we look to them to need to win. They wanted to qualify for the LAN finals next year. Going to be aggression from EnVy. All 5 players pushed on up. And Snacks, he suspects that something might be afoot. Going to be holding off in Pop. Here's the players charging into the back lines. That's the cue to get the bomb. And the rest of the guys out of there. Bialy holds the approach in with the first. They don't want to go running into the gun any longer, but Keo is able to find the frag. So now that's a rifle that can be retrieved. Bomb plant goes down over on A. Oh. Snacks able to find that all day long. They don't go ahead and pick up the rifle either. You had Neo holding it down from Ivy. I don't want him to give any more away. They are just going to hold passive. Start to peek into this with the pistols. And while they do have, 6 goes down. Now there's no time left. And Keo and Happy will just elect to hold on to the Deeg and the CZ. Trying to do damage after the clock has run dry. Doesn't prevail for Happy. Keo holds onto the Deagle. VP, they're on to an 8th round. Only 4 between them and EnVy.
Now the big buy comes up, however. We haven't actually seen EnVyUs with a full buy yet because of the way that this game has gone so far. Sixer and Happy both with AWPs, although Happy is actually going to go for a glass cannon AWP. Doesn't quite have the cash to purchase up one with Kevlar. VP have made themselves a decent bit of reserve money, so not too much of a problem for them, and it will be RPK alone over towards his B side, at least in the early stages of the round. Quick push towards Ivy, and Sixer is handed a frag early on by Bialy. Pasha hoping that he'll be gifted a trade. It isn't going to be happening. Sixer throws out the smoke, falls passive, and now Virtus.Pro already with a man deficit have got to try and find a way to get back into this one. T-side just sort of holding. There shouldn't be any more aggression really from EnVyUs at this stage of the round. You can see they've already split up into a 2-3 spare. Actually, further over towards Olaf position. Fairly aggressive considering, but if anybody is going to cross over into that spot, XMS should at least have himself a trade, and it is more for information rather than anything else. Virtus.Pro looking like they are about to set up the smokes over towards this A site, but they don't know how aggressive these CT players have currently got, and XMS is just going to be inbound, finds one, a second, looking for the third, but Snacks will be there to trade eventually. However, they're already at such a deficit.
Desperate to try and claw back some ground, does tick the first. Happy's there to smite down a lone VP player, and now it is Snacks. 1v3, but he's been able to get the first. Sneaks on by. Sixer holds the angle. The bomb plant will come in. He waits. And waits, and Snacks walks into the crosshair. That is going to be the round to go the way of Envy. A 13th for the Frenchman. AWP's carried forward as well. Bomb plant means that VP can facilitate a buy into this round. Could do anyway. They're able to keep the EnVyUs economy fairly modest. Of course, 2 players surviving with the AWPs is going to help out. Tactical pause called in. VP knows that a draw here is not good enough, Tom. They have to try and secure this win. As you say, it's the only way that they can potentially guarantee their spot. Otherwise, it all falls into the outcomes of the other matches. And of course, you want to be the master of your own fate, your own destiny. VP know that better than most. They are desperate to try and win this one out. Currently, EnVy are in the lead. But we've seen VP start to pave that path to the comeback. It's a long and treacherous journey. And they've still got a long way to go.
Yeah, and while speaking of being the masters of their own fate, things have just become that bit more difficult, because it will be Russia to take that victory over Belgium. That has happened while we've been playing. They won 16-10. And what that means is that they will now go up to 7 points, I believe. And it will mean that Virtus.Pro do actually have to win this one now if they are going to want to have a chance of going through. That's what it's come down to. So EnVyUs with the chance to not only go to the top of the group, but also eliminate Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, so as you, winning this was, it is now their only way to stay in this. It's the only lifeline they've got. 5 rounds between them and Envy. The pressure is on for VP now. Pasha has the AWP in hand. Gonna be holding down Ivy. XMS does lie in wait. Only with the MP9. But he's got support from Sixer on the AWP. Very passive setup, with the exception of Kiyoshima, who's pushed all the way up towards main. 45 seconds left, VP. That clock is running low. They have to be wary of the time. And this round is so important for VP. They stuck almost everything they had into this one round.
Look at Taz.
Yeah, Taz has snuck all the way up. They don't actually have the information he's there. He's been allowed to wrap round. Could find the first onto RPK. Has players either side of him. RPK peeks out. RPK finds the frag. Pasha done what he can out towards A. Now the rest of the guys have to pick up the pace and start to push in. They've only got 15 seconds, and Sixer able to shut down the first. The bomb plant pulls through. Happy's there with the AWP. It all falls to Pasha in a 1 versus 4. He's able to get the first on a Sixer. Players all around, and RPK finishes him off. Envy, they're going to get themselves a 14th round. And now when we look at that VP economy, it's all a question of what can they afford to get into this round. They've got money to buy up. They can field the AWP as well. Neo can go ahead and throw it over to Pasha. Of course, he got 2 kills in the previous round. So I imagine that is what we're going to see. Been fairly pivotal with the AWP. EnVy's money isn't that great either. They've been kept very modest. For VP here, a win could mean a potential 10th on the back of resetting EnVy. But it's crunch time. If EnVy are allowed to get to 15 rounds, then that is it. VP have been eliminated. That's all it takes. It all hinges on a singular round for EnVy. They can eliminate VP.
The T side, again, have slowed right down. We saw a lot of aggressive rounds when the economy was in their favor, but this double AWP setup seems to have got them a little bit stuck. Sixer finding some hugely impactful kills versus VP, and there hasn't really been much a turnaround as of yet. The majority of their players, again, look to be setting up their smokes over towards this A side of the map, attempting to try and build in here. But look at Sixer's position, just holding so aggressively, and Virtus.Pro know, just based off the aggression, they could have lost this already. However, already we will see an initial kill come in. Pasha manages to find XMS, but it's quickly traded out. Still looking to try and gain some control in pop, but it isn't going to happen just yet, and they still don't know that Sixer is so close. However, just as they go to push in, he will actually fall back.
Now the push comes through. Kyo's able to take the first. Sixer misses the trade, but not the second time around. Man advantage up for EnVy. It all comes down to this. Damage being done. Bialy 1v3 able to take the first, but happy trades at EnVy. They're going to reach match point with that VP. They have been eliminated. At least from their shot of being able to qualify for the main event.
Yes. No, I think you are just correct.
Yeah, they are. Even if they pull this back.
We got 7-6. No, 7-7-6.
Yeah. So even if they pull this back, then they win out their last game they played. The most points they can get is 5. So VP, it's a pretty grim truth they have to take home. It's a force buy here for them anyway. And as simple as it gets, they're going to try rushing into this B-bomb site. EnVy, they have players here. It's RPK, unhappy to hold. The quick rotation could come in from Kyo. Sentry goes down, RPK denies the push for the time being. VP now perhaps even looking hesitant whether or not they want to go for this. They are going to be stacked up, lining up the utility to go in. 1 minute 15 marks the barrage utility, and in they go. RPK holds it close. He's going to fall prey to Pasha. Keep going with the aggression. Happy going to get rid of him. 4 and 4 bomb fight yet to come through. Neo over the top of the train, going to go ahead and go with Kiyoshima. Bialy falls as well. It all on the shoulders now of Happy. And he will go down. Neo, a 4K for him in that round. It seemed like VP kind of playing that like they had nothing to lose, which I guess they really don't, and it does pan out for them.
Yeah, they managed to win themselves the force buy. Still got a long way to go if they are going to be able to get that final point. Of course, there are no overtimes at this stage of the tournament. It does come in as a draw if they do manage to pull this back, but they've still got such a long way left to go. This round at least should be a relatively easy one, although there are no easy rounds in Counter-Strike. Pistols are pretty damn powerful, and we've got CZs in play. However, XMS is already going to go down. The patience of Pasha will be able to catch out. One flashbang in. Bialy not spotted. Will mean that they get a second as well. Rotation will come in from the CT side to stack over towards that A position of the map. Sixer's gone aggressive as well, and Happy is also going to fall to Bialy. So looking like they're just going to quickly clean this one up. will actually be Pasha to go down. That's an AWP. If Sixer can retrieve that, that would be a nice little bonus. You can already see Neo looking to try and go and hunt down this man with the AWP, and that's exactly what he will do. Now RPK is the only man left alive, pushing back in through the connector, and Snacks will decapitate him. 10 to 15. The fight back still continues. Now we get to see what sort of buy EnVy are going to field for this next round.
I mean, it is crazy to think that VP, I mean, if they'd been able to pull this out earlier on, it could have been a very, very different narrative we were telling Tom. But now for EnVy, they've got no money left in this round. Going to be stacking 4 players up in Ivy. Pasha will lie in wait, pushing on in. Kiyoshima actually had to open things up. Pasha now stands alone, only takes 1, but in the meantime, Taz going to assist from range. Has Kiyoshima trapped. Players just chipping away at one another. Taz actually being tagged very low. Ball coming in. Snacks in the back line going to get rid of Keo. Happy's left 1 versus 3. Now Happy. Oh, just going to fall prey to Neo. VP will get themselves an 11th round. Now 4 away from bringing this back to a draw.
Making their way back slowly into this game, but here comes the buy. Sixer on that AWP. Famas is in to make sure they have all of the extra utility and only a single kit for this CT side. Tees, they've got themselves plenty to buy back up with. AWP will still remain on Pasha, and we are 4 rounds away from them bringing this back to an equalization. Already, we do have Sixer holding the angle over towards Ivy. He's been pretty prolific at hitting the shot so far. Looking like they are just going to try and bait him out by jumping over, and then Pasha likely to try and hit the shot with the AWP instead. However, no longer anybody there to meet. 2 players initially dedicated from this CT side over towards the B site, but really anything seen so far. 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock with EnVy just holding back. Still got a decent amount of smokes to try and slow down any further pushes the Virtus.Pro will want to have later in this round, and one of them will be expended. Just try and keep that Ivy position under the control of EnVy, at least for now. It has been a huge point of contention in this map so far, but from the positions of Virtus.Pro, it still looks like they are going to be making their way into this A site. They have to watch out for Kiyoshima, who's already aggressive, and the remaining CT players are actually going to push in. Neo will go down, and that makes things quite a bit more difficult because they have to start making their way onto this A site. They've already lost any presence on the other side of the map. Keo not going to be hitting his shots, as they now do barrel their way towards this A site. XMS still holding over towards Ivy. Will they check the angle? The answer is no. He's going to pick up 1 and a second as well, looking for a 3rd, but can't quite hit the shots. The time also fighting, but Snacks, he's killed 2 and left it all onto XMS.
XMS misses that shot with the AWP. That could have been the difference maker. The bomb plant will go down, but XMS in with a 3rd. Taz gets the trade. He pulls that back for VP. Able to get themselves the 12th. Amazing performance from XMS, but then countered immediately by a huge step up on behalf of Snacks. Pause called in. Some time for EnVy. Take a quick timeout. Had the lead very comfortably. Of course, it was that VP who called that pause in. I mean, what a resurgence has been from VP in these last couple of rounds. It was looking like it was going to be an EnVy game very, very quickly. It's just it was kind of too little too late from VP.
The question I think we now need to ask is, okay, so from what I saw online, the T-side had definitely been better recently from Virtus.Pro. They had the choice. Should they have started on the T-side? Because that could have been the difference maker. They really have looked strong in these buy rounds on the Terrorist side, and their CT side really let them down.
Well, they've done damage to the EnVyUs economy. It's going to be a partial buy here for the Frenchman. Starting to push up. In and through main, flashed back. Snax is there, in danger of being overrun here. Has support from Pasha and Bialy down towards Ivy. EnVy now retreat from main. Made their presence known there early on. Going to turn their attention instead over here towards Ivy, where Bialy and Pasha do lie in wait.
There we go, sneaking through Ivy. 3 players actually on the right side of it, just waiting close. They've got to be careful. XMS will peek in. Bialy waiting, just wiping down these kills. Keo will at least be able to hit one on the trade, looking for a weapon to pick up, but can only go with his P250, and Pasha will be there alongside Neo to continue the damage done. Happy will at least drop the bomb, but unfortunately he's got players surrounding him and leaves it all onto RPK, who with any pistol is as deadly as ever. Has turned this into a 1 versus 2. Pasha peeks into the open. He'll go down as well, and RPK looks to end it here, but Snax will be the savior of VP. 15-13. The comeback is well and truly on. But now comes that buy, that last chance saloon for EnVy. They are going to be wanting to look for this top group spot to try and keep themselves in first. Otherwise, well, they may be having to play an extra match or two or be put in a tougher group when it comes to the finals. Double AWP setup will be purchased in once again. This time Happy has Kevlar behind it as well. Can Virtus.Pro continue this comeback?
Oh, already Neo has been tagged. That 3-5 from Keo. The wall bang, sorry. Gonna tag Neo down to 40 HP. That's damage you don't want to take early on. RPK spots the encroaching VP forces over there towards the B-bomb site. Just gonna end the smoke off ramp, plays things safe. Rotation now comes through from Happy. VP with all 5 players stacked up here. Looking ready to push on in. There's 1 minute and 5 seconds left. Happy gonna be here to try and assist. It's the late play up from Neo and Rafters that should get caught out by Happy. Smoke goes down. Happy beats him to it. And now RPK falls immediately inside of the site. Keo's already rotated round. Able to get one. Pashes in with a trade. And it's kept even. Happy's dropped down. Gonna try and take the fight to them. But in the meantime, Bialy's done a similar thing to EnVy. He's pushed all the way up in a connector. Bomb plant will come in. Happy. And 6. Are these AWPs doing work? It falls to Snax, 1 versus 2. They know exactly where he is. Happy's looking the wrong way. He gets caught off guard. 6 is going to go down to Snax. Happy wasn't able to get the trade in the smoke. Going to go toe-to-toe with Snax. There's no way that he wins this in the 1 versus 2. He's only got 13 HP. He's been able to duck away. Happy. Time is of the essence. Baits him out with a defuse, and Snax will fall, but he's gone and done it. VP, they're going to get a 14th round. EnVy, they are going to be kicking themselves after they throw that 2v1 away. Virtus.Pro, they are on the comeback. 1 away from drawing this out, 15-15.
I wonder if they know. Because that's the thing. So this will put them onto, well, I believe it's 2 points. Then the max they can get will be 5. So it will be an incredibly close group in the end, but maybe all for nothing. We'll see if they can do this final round. Still a fairly decent buy. It's going to be XMS on the CZ, which will be the one sort of detriment. Push going to be coming out towards Ivy. Virtus.Pro have strung a huge amount of rounds in a row together. The question is, can EnVyUs end it We're going to have Pasha looking for this early pick. Bialy already holding the angle and not going to be spotting anything as of yet. Is actually happy AWPing in this round over Sixer, so in-game leader taking that mantle away. We've seen him do that in the past. Was the one to save it from the previous round, but still would have quite liked to see the AWPer with the AWP. T-side could be rotating their way back. Neo pushing further forward, trying to find some sort of opening, but nobody really peeking at the moment. And we're getting down to that 40-second marker where Team EnVyUs have just played this patient. They don't have a huge amount of utility. RPK peeks out and finds that opening. 30 seconds left, and the T's are going to be rattled by that one. Still, he remains the only person over towards that B side of the map as the remaining T's do look to try and push in. RPK will be watching, happy trying to hold, but the smoke has gone down, leaving them without any vision. 15 seconds left, and the bomb is going to be going down. Snax now turns things into a 4 versus 4. We are going to have this rotation in from EnVyUs. Sixer looking to try and lead the charge. Will be left blind for a second as they do jump over. Taz is going to be going down. Snax is there to trade one back, but Bialy with another. Snax looking for even more, and he leaves it on to just Kiyoshima. Will dunk out one, but he's only got 26 HP. The comeback happens. Virtus.Pro will get themselves a draw. And what a lengthy match that was, but it's one of those things. As Virtus.Pro, you can never count them out.
Yeah, they managed to pull that back. 15-15, they draw it out. Only thing is, when we do look at the points, it's something we can look into later. But yeah, I'm fairly sure this means that in spite of that epic comeback, in spite of them being able to take it to the draw, it's a bit of a bitter pill to swallow, right? I mean, you manage that, you do fantastically well versus Envy, and then you can't actually even make it through to the next
I
stage.
don't necessarily always trust my own maths, so
I mean, I'm agreeing with you, Tom, though. We both did it separate to one another.
I'm pretty sure this leaves the group 7-7-6, and then VP on 2. So I think the maximum they can get is 5. I think Game Edge is the maximum they can get is 3, and that's the final match. They're playing off against each other. So I think we do have our 3 teams making it through to the playoffs, and this is why it's the group of death. There was going to be one team that probably should have been in the finals that will not make it through, and that team, by the looks of it, is going to be Virtus.Pro, and I think that is just where we have to throw off to a break, because it's just that little bit heartbreaking.
That's the break cue, but
there we go.
I can do this right. Make sure you feel safe tonight. Make sure you feel safe tonight.
not leave me. I love you. I hate you. I love you.
I hate you.
I love you. Hate you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Hate you. Love you. Hate you. Love you. Hate. 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 Love you. If you leave, better yet, I will kill you. 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 Kill you.
Follow World Electronic Sports Games as it continues its epic journey across the globe. Next stop is the marvelous Spanish city of Barcelona for the European Finals from the 22nd to the 26th of November. Dota 2, StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, and CSGO will all be a part of what hopes to be an historic event. The best national teams Europe has to offer will clash in a battle for their share of $280,000 and the precious slots at the WESG Global Finals. National pride is at stake, and everything they've fought for so far is on the line.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WESG EU qualifiers. Obviously here in Barcelona. Fantastic city, Hugo. Fantastic group that has been underway so far this fine day. And that, of course, being Group C, now featuring EnVyUs versus Team Russia. I think this matchup's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, one of the games of the day for sure. These guys have both been top in their group, as you can see, 2-1 on both wins and ties. We just saw a crazy comeback from VP at 15-8, all the way back to a tie against EnVyUs. A map they really should have won, but we've got it nonetheless, again with Envy and obviously Russia, who we saw earlier. They performed fairly well, I would say, as well. Obviously, as you would imagine, being 2-1 at the top of their group alongside. So, yeah, a fun game. Best of one. Should be interesting. Hard to predict, as this entire group has been. We've had some upsets.
Yeah, I mean, I believe so far as maybe not Belgium. Actually, you know what? I maybe want to take that back. I'm not quite sure if this victory will then net them that #1 seed, because Belgium is also sitting on 2 wins. It's getting tight. That's the moral of the story.
With so many draws, it's hard to tell as well,
Yeah.
because draws really like throw a spanner in the works in terms of like standings, right? Because
but regardless, whoever does end up coming out in that first position of the group, of course, is immediately put into the round of 8, which guarantees them not only a slot at the China LAN finals, but then also nets them some of the cash that's on the line here at the EU qualifier in and of itself. So top 12, of course, move out of the groups, and then the decider matches will solidify those final 8 teams. And that's what makes this one so exciting. Obviously, a lot to take a grab at. We did watch, of course, or actually, it wasn't on stage. It was just us watching over the shoulders of Team Russia versus Belgium. That was a pretty good game. Got incredibly close, but ultimately Russia came out with their win. So they are looking hot and heavy.
And yeah, these are the closing 2 games of the group, if I'm correct as well. Obviously, Belgium have played all their games now, currently sitting in 2-2, so no more for them to play. This is literally for first seed. The winner of this goes out the group.
So it is the match. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then later on we have VP versus Game Agents.
Neither of which can leave the group.
No,
so
neither.
I believe that's confirmation that Virtus.Pro, with the tie there on train, can no longer exit the group and therefore are going home. They're out of the running.
They have 1 more game left, and they're yet to actually find a win in this event, if I'm correct. They only have draws or losses. 2 draws and 1 loss. That's unfortunate. That's really, really unfortunate for VP. Very close to taking. I mean, now look at Alternative World, where they picked up 16-14 instead of 15-15. They have 2 wins. Yep. And suddenly they're out the group. But
2 rounds the difference.
Yeah.
Wild stuff. Of course, banning process coming your way. This is still the BO1, so Cash Mirage straight away, Overpass Cobble. Lots of similarities to be drawn between those maps. Team Russia not opting to allow Nuke to go to the decider. I feel like EnVyUs could sneak that through with a pick if they had to. I feel like we're going to go to Inferno again.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
We've had a lot of Inferno today, but we're back on it, seeing Russia, seeing if they can perform once again. It was obviously a draw versus VP they had on this exact map. Some interesting rounds, to say the least. I mean, the one I'm thinking of mostly is the 14-14, where VP went for that half buy and managed to find 15, which actually got them the chance to take a draw. Not that it had any effect in the long run.
Yeah, I'm also thinking of the round whereby Electronic sticks a 10-second defuse and walks away with a tie, which is a result that ultimately costs Virtus.Pro their moving forward. Yeah. So, heartbreak here in Barcelona. Heart throbs as well.
And that's just our casting duo.
Yeah. EnVyUs having a bit of fans actually out in the crowd. I did watch Scream and EnVyUs kind of cheer them on from the sidelines. It's interesting that Scream obviously representing Team Belgium, not only at the same event as the core of his lineup, his regular home on EnVyUs, but also literally in the same group, competing against them. So that's always fun.
I really wanted to see Belgium win that game as well, just for the fun, right? Just to beat his own team. Like we were chatting, and I was just thinking, every time Envy go for like a smoke setup, Scream's gonna be like, yeah, it's a fake. Yeah, I came up with that. This is our strat, right? So yeah, nothing dangerous there. 16-11 to Envy. They managed to take down Belgium, but it was very close. It was all the way up 9-9. They were neck and neck, just trading rounds back and forth. But eventually, Envy took the lead. And now we're going to find out who's going to take the lead of this group. And Connor, because you love giving your predictions so much, I'm going to throw you under the bus.
I feel like Team Russia will win this.
Really?
Yep. EnVyUs have showed a lot of promise, but I think that at the start of the day when we came into this group, We argued that Belgium could have been that X factor and a potential third coming out of this, but we didn't know who was necessarily going to be cut out, whether it would be Virtus.Pro, Team Russia, or EnVyUs. And I had question marks above Russia and VP just because I didn't really know how the mixed team would gel. I didn't know which Virtus.Pro was going to show up for this LAN event, Epicenter finalists or WSG group exit VP, and clearly we have our answer. But I also had EnVyUs as a question mark as well. Happy recently did an interview with HLTV explaining that they had no preparation with Kiyoshima coming into this event whatsoever. They just didn't find the time to do so, and they're just relying on kind of, the backbone of that lineup. And honestly, I've seen a lot of promise from Russia. Sure enough, they tie versus VP in the end, but even that was a robbery. So they could have arguably lost that game. And then having seen them dispatch of Belgium, seeing the chemistry there and standing behind the team, I feel like Russia, unlike Ukraine, are just going to come out of this one in first place.
Interesting prediction. I would lean the way of Envy, I think, but for this map, I'm going to agree. I'm going to go with Russia, just because we've already seen them in Inferno. They play very well. Envy, I'm not convinced by their Inferno in the same way. And again, the whole Kiyoshima thing, right? While I definitely think he's a good player, not playing with a guy before an event is always going to hinder your performance when he doesn't know your setups, your strategies, etc. You kind of have to do it very on the fly. And there's only a certain amount of preparation you can really have at the event when you get there. Well, I'm convinced. Actually, don't worry. I take that back. Envy are going to win this.
Yeah, because Kiyo clutches a knife round.
4 kills. Look at RPK. He loves it. Big fan.
Speaking of RPK, that's something where I don't want to take this away from Envy, and it's for that reason that I'll explain. I'm not too confident in just saying, oh, yeah, Russia will win. I think that there's always going to be a toss-up, and I think that RPK has shown as of late that he is the rock star of this lineup. Again, in that very same interview with Happy, he explains that RPK is currently playing all the positions he would like. They are putting him into that kind of starlight role. Despite having Scream on the roster, they emphasize RPK as well. And obviously, Scream not being in the equation this weekend means that RPK is just then put forward that much more. Great player, great results as of late, and I think that, after watching that French shuffle and seeing him not get a slot on G2, he has come into his own with EnVyUs. He's made an argument for his own performance and his position within the French Counter-Strike scene. So, you know what? Enough talking. Let's get some action. Team Russia, Team EnVyUs here on Inferno. Who's going through in that top seed? That's the answer you guys will get once this one comes to an end. World Edit trying to hold off towards Banana. T's already trying to push their way forward, and it's RPK himself to now go down. Seized with a trade frag as Flamey finds the headshot, and Flamey pushes straight down mid, but there's a man creeping through the tunnel. You'll have to be cautious of his feet. As Happy does come up, not going to land the shot, and Flamey hits one. There we have it. It is just down to Sixer, and he's nowhere to be found as far as the CTs are concerned. But they've found something better, Hugo. They have themselves the bomb.
Nothing better than a package. And Sixer, he may have the element of surprise, but it can only go so far. There's 4 players here. Electronics already checking back into the B site just in case the Sixer sneaks on through. Yes, he can get 1 kill for free, maybe catch out Electronic on the corner. Even then, that looks unrealistic because he's got his back turned, but timing gets the better of Electronic. And again, this is 1 free kill at a very max. And Team Russia have so much manpower, Electronic can afford to just hold behind. Fortunate timing, goes for the peak. Sixer lands a shot, but that's now his position given away. And not enough time to wrap back round towards CT. He's got to go for this. Smoke down. Russia not giving him any options as he looks to make his way through, or at least over. Not going to be able to find it. Jumps on top of the wall, but Russia are not exposing themselves. They're not playing too aggressively. They're just holding together. Again, this is such a hard round for Sixer to win. They can afford to fight and lose a couple more men, and they will. Flamey dead. But now the 2 last players should not be overfacing. They should just be holding the crossfire. Sixer, you haven't got a gun, buddy. There we go. Back onto the USP. He goes for the fight, but they're just tagging him down bit by bit, and C's will finish it off. 2 kills for him and a round for Russia. Already off to good footing.
Of course, it was the CT side of Russia versus Virtus.Pro that then became in question, ultimately leading us all the way to that 30th round where they were ultimately able to close it out with a draw, most notably. And so for them to pick up the pistol, they're off to a fantastic start. But they opt not for 3 SMGs, not for 4. Nay, they want 5. It's going to get them a lot of utility to use, which can be fantastic if your grenades hit targets, but Kiyoshima playing reserved towards the top of the ramp will just lean back. Lounging and waiting for the CTs to overstep. Happy will, or possibly could, make first contact. looking to pry out from Boiler. He does spot Flamey, and Flamey spots him. So a little bit of information gained, and map control as well for Team Russia as Doja goes down to the bottom of mid. This is going to put him in a playmaker position whereby he can just swing out, seeing any kind of T-side presence. He could easily mow down these players, these terrorists who have nearly run out of utilities. They'll be sitting on the single smoke double flash. You can't help but feel like they want to use that to commit on some kind of an execution. And it is through that smoke into Doja that they go. 3 frags for him. And of course, XMS now just waiting for his teammate. Please, they say, give us something to work with. But another flashbang will force one back. And while World Edit's now down, it's just Happy and XMS still able to find some more openings. Happy with a 3K and an and an opening towards the A site, but they don't have that bomb.
That's a massive error. 30 seconds left in Russia. No utility left, but they're just going to take a straight-up gunfight. Seized one, and Doja peeks out with him, but he's too late. And Happy, he's going to find the ace out of absolutely nowhere. A round that Russia should not have lost. And Connor, dare I say it, that's why you don't buy 5 SMGs.
Let me see him smile.
For a change. I was just about to commend Doja. Like that is one of the things that SMGs do allow. They allow the smokes, right? They allow a lot more utility. So you can throw those deep smokes, get down towards the bottom of banana, take close fights with those SMGs instead of playing the long range. And Doja does exactly that. But it's Russia getting overconfident and over-facing in a 5-on-2 that eventually loses them the round. Ridiculous mistake to make. And Happy, he'll take full advantage. You can't give him an inch, he'll take a mile. And EnVy now, top up banana. There's only 2 players on the B-bomb site. They've already fallen back passive.
Oh, but EnVyUs, they could make the same mistake. Ooh. They don't even have 5 SMGs. In fact, the CZ for Keo is all he's got to work with. They've lost a player per side already. XMS and Flamey down for this one. Of course, we talked about the utilities that could be afforded with these kinds of SMG buys, and, well, another indicator of it would be that full belt on Happy, 3 for Sixer, and still 2 smokes residing between RPK and Keo. They can fake, pump fake, and fake a 3rd time if need be. The only thing they're starting to run out will be time. They've hit the minute mark, and Happy from the same position, yet again trying to find some impact. Great cover using the lip of the ledge, but it's Sixer over his shoulder with 2 frags. Doja takes one down, but ooh, the distraction technique, because Electronic comes gunning at his knees. Happy mowed down, and now it is the 2v2 yet again. 35 seconds on the clock. Bomb retrieved by Keo, and they are just going to tuck tail. Head straight towards that B site, where Russia will look to make contact. Doja on 32 health tries to get ahead of it.
Yeah, he might be able to. No smoke down towards the spawn as well. Tries to catch across, but Keo, long range with a CZ versus a FAMAS. Somehow he wins that duel. Takes it back for Team EnVyUs, puts himself in the man advantage, and now it's Electronic to try and retake. Bullets are good, no reload needed, but he's got to move back in. He may have spotted Keo on the cross, and I think he did. He certainly will have there. As RPK goes to the second peak, tries to peek out with him. Electronic just baiting the fact that he's pushed towards a CT spawn, only to walk back into the hands of RPK, misses the shot, and tagged up as well. He might have to just consider the save. It seems like EnVyUs have actually found themselves another round. Off the back of a good start for Russia, it's been pulled back, and a nice B play from EnVyUs has actually secured them a 2nd on the board. So there's no counter reset for Russia. They've got to hold on to that solo gun, and it's the Frenchies to find themselves 2 in a row.
Does Keo survive? Nope. All right, so single back 10 moving forward. Electronic left over with the better of the guns, but of course the momentum belongs to the French. Still SMGs. That's okay. I think that this is a great opportunity now to kind of refurbish your economy. You lost out in the last round by losing so many players.
And Russia don't have armor as well. That's a key part, right? You know they're not going to force, or you hope they're not going to force in this situation. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. Russia can just go for those ecos, get in the buy next round with a 2,400 loss. So now we're going to start to see EnVy make some money, make some cash. $600 per kill on the Mach 10 and up towards banana once again. It's 3 players on the CT side to contest, but Keo already 1 kill. Mach 10 spraying away, finds another 2. And RBK opens up the B-bomb side. That should be the round over. It's just about finishing off the frags now for EnVy. There's only World Edit here, and he's too far away from the action. Bomb only just making its way up to B, but not only is he going to be flanked through the A site, but these players are about to walk in, and they're still playing slow and methodical, just in case World Edit has anything. Don't want to throw away this round. Don't want to throw away any kills if they have to. My only question is now, with what looks to be a flawless round, is do they run the Mach 10s again? Or do they upgrade?
Ooh. Knowing EnVy,
Knowing MVP.
At least they grab that FAMAS,
Yeah.
right? So worst comes to worst, it's just 2 SMGs moving forward.
For sure. And Russia won't have a lot of money as well. They only have 4,400 now, right? Yeah, 4,400. So they shouldn't have head armor on everyone. So that's even better. Mac 10s are going to be good now.
I feel like maybe they just keep one. 6.2 for RPK means he could very easily grab an AK-47, but
Even pulling the AWP.
options are open, as are the heads of 2 players from Team Russia. Both World Edit and Electronic notably don't have those helmets. So considering we've got the FAMAS and the 2 Mac 10s moving forward here from Team EnVyUs, keep that in mind. If either of those guys die to something fast, a quick little push, and a tiny little bullet, it would be a shame. For Russia, at least. EnVyUs more than content to walk away with it. But of course, because they come in with the rifles and a single ump for Doja, clear lackluster buy on the utility. They're down to just 2 smokes, a frag and a flash. That's it. But over towards the B site, we've got Seized and Doja. They're running out of grenades and running out of space, both of which now have crossed over in order to boost Seized up. Doja still just creeping his way back into the bomb site. And Kiyoshima looks to creep around the smoke. Could boost XMS. Off of the flash, they will decide to peek. Doja's good for 1. Seized able to distract on the other side. Sixer and Kiyoshima clear the bomb site, but not with an even ground. It's a man advantage here for Team Russia, and they're hot on the retake.
I like this from World Edit. Don't overface, don't take the fight till you have a teammate to trade, because they don't want to lose this and turn this into a 2-on-2. Nades back in, land perfectly, and Kiyoshima gets a kill, but he's tagged by the HE. World Edit in with 2 frags on the retake, and Team Russia, they find themselves a second round on the board. The Mac 10s don't work out for MB, but still they have money, and not just that, but they have the bomb plant. Adds to the cash. AWP, I'd like to think, would surely come out in this round. At least it's not going to be a difficult purchase by any means. 7K across 3 of these players, 6 on XMS. So certainly should be seeing that as an option at least considered. Russia, on the other hand, don't quite have the ability. Money's good for now, but yeah, AWP coming up. Going to be seeing that on the EnVyUs side. And Team Russia, a couple of SMGs still in play. Good utility, though. That's something to at least take note of. They've already proven to be heavy on this banana control. Now with 3 players early B, I'm expecting some B nades in, some aggression, maybe a deep smoke, for example. Try and take control away from EnVyUs. Give themselves some banana presence. That's typically the role of running 3 on B early round, because we see that third player is going to rotate early on back towards A after he uses his smoke, meaning now there's 2 more smokes left on B, and that's exactly what happens. Seized in through said smoke, finds it. Kiyoshima dead.
As per the second round, Doja's going to get himself closer towards the smoke, so not just the tip of banana, but deep. It's going to leave him a happy man. But because of all the utility expenditures early on in order to grab that map control, we're at a minute 10, and they are down to no smokes now. 4 flashbangs, all they're going to have to work with, which means no longer can they slow down EnVyUs. EnVyUs will be able to play their pace, their game, their execution. It's the map control that they'll be relying on here in order to use rotations and bomb site stacks to come out on top, despite, again, not having a response to the grenades. Molotov into the pit, forces a little bit of movement. Electronic forced, again, still on Balk. He's good for 1 frag, and he falls down here. He's good for another. That's RPK removed from the bomb site, just going to leave Sixer on the op. And while the targets come forward, it is he that goes down. World Edit with a final frag, and Team Russia to tie 3 rounds apiece.
And World Edit pulls up the AWP as well, takes it from the body of Sixer, so now he's got that weapon to work with. Didn't have the money to buy it. He throws it over to Flamey. I imagine that's temporary. Yeah, okay, it's going back. He's just picking up a gun. Flamey still going to be good to buy. And EnVyUs, not quite the same fate. They've got CZs, they've got a single AK. It's a half buy. They save some cash at least, because 2,400 in next round, they're going to have a full buy. RPK may be struggling a little bit more money. He's down to 750, but they can get a bomb plant. It will only make it bigger. Nice spray from Doja. Lands 1 through the edge of the smoke, and World Edit with the AWP as well. This triple B setup is perfect, and the UMP of C is not even needed this round. World Edit is decimating EnVyUs. It's left to 2 now, just Sixer and XMS. Only 1 towards the top side of Banana as 1 sits towards the bottom, holding on to mid, but Russia have just pre-rotated 4 players down here. And again, relentless Doja rips the skulls of EnVyUs away, and Team Russia take a 4th round on the board.
Convincing 4th round. Look at the money now that they're sitting on. Clearly, Team Russia have themselves now the beginning of what could be a very one-sided half. It's still early days, but this one's looking like a 5-3, considering that EnVyUs shouldn't invest much into this. And with such a buy, it just increases the chances that when Russia rebuys, if/when EnVyUs inevitably win a round, that it's going to be a healthy one at that. We did see double op setups from Team Russia earlier today. We saw some very dynamic op positioning from World Edit as well, going for this kind of an aggressive peek down mid, then changing his positioning over towards the top of Banana just in the next follow-up round. Flamey takes a licking of damage, so he's going to have to be careful, and they're not feeling safe there. Good idea. Versus pistols, being so close, that's dangerous. And yet they get out just in time. Smoke up close. Electronic tries to spray. Sixer slays with a headshot, and RPK takes one of his own. That's Flamey now down. Happy creeps through the smoke in what could be a flawless pistol round, unless Doja and Seized have something to say. Seized already back towards the site. He's coming in from library side, trying to find contact through that smoke itself, and looking to create a distraction for Doja to wrap around. But Sixer, already aware of the potential threat, tries to blast Doja with a preemptive nade, does no damage with it. And it's up to Doja to start clearing out this pit, but it's inside of pit that AK sits. Not an easy removal process. Seized still just waiting for contact. Doja finally going to come in here. They're looking to deal damage at the very least, and damage goes both ways here, Hugo, as the round goes the way of Envy.
Orb saved, but Envy. The eco comes in after the force buy is unsuccessful, and this time it works out wonderfully. Caught out of position after the Russian team fall back from their early apps aggression, and while they're repositioning, while they're setting up, Envy just burst the sights. A nice reaction there. They know that the players were deep. They know the players just fell back because they threw in the nades as well. Yeah, at least had some knowledge, and they played off the back of it. Nice play from EnVyUs, but this is questionable. XMS on a Mac 10. Have they misread the economy here of Russia? We've got a Mac 10 in play, but they've got money to buy up rifles, and Russia are running head armor on almost everyone, just Flamey not, as he picks up that secondary AWP. We saw him earlier on this exact map pick up the secondary AWP on the CT side as well against VP. While it was effective, I think lack of head armor doesn't really make a lot of...
That's so smart.
I like it.
XMS was just sheer aggression. That's why he's going to go for the Mac 10, because he's just going to charge forward, uses the movement to get so close to the bomb site. They know that Electronic has been played committed on the Balk, so not likely that somebody's going to be pushed up on truck lane. XMS completely exploits what they just did in the last round, that fast wrap into the A site, and now with his opening, the rest of EnVyUs comes over. A near flawless round yet again here, Hugo.
Yeah, I guess the Mac 10 was a good decision. Just burst him up through mid, flash him through. No need to worry if he goes down. Again, you're just starting off with a 4v5. It's not the end of the world. You can still pull it back on T side. CT side's a whole different task, but yeah, they just play the role. I like that. It's rare you see someone just buy an SMG just to utilize them for the sole fact of just running into a bomb site up against rifles and catching a team off guard when they're not expecting such a fast setup from a player.
I feel like there's two extra variables there as well. Like I feel like the information of knowing that Electronic is constantly committed to the side of the balcony is one thing, because he plays around the corner where he's not able to spot people pushing up from that boiler door. The second variable is going to be the fact that XMS comes in with a full kit of utility.
Yeah.
Smokes the right side, flashes high, Molotovs into the corner in order to clear it, and then he's got his charge straight to the bomb site. The fact that he gets 2 kills is just icing on the cake. But a really cool little play there from EnVyUs. I mean, like you said, even if he dies right away, even if he's denied any kind of footing towards that A site, 4 versus 5 with still enough guns to work back.
And it's so early in the round, you're not wasting time on that.
Exactly.
Clever. Very rare do you see that kind of play, but it works out wonderfully for EnVyUs. This time they go back with the rifles. Can't run the same thing twice. If anything, 2-3 times a half is already too much, as Russia will start to catch on. Early nades as well from the CT side as they throw them down Banana. Don't allow EnVyUs to deploy the same strategy on the other side of the map. Instead, Envy still hit towards A, but it's apps. No one holding Banana as well, at least not aggressively. It means Russia can actually get some control and information, but smoke's down. This should be clear. Russia should be pre-rotating Seized over, and they do. He already starts to fall back, as Envy have shown no footwork towards B, only presence in apps, lots of utility used and expended by Russia in terms of defense. A nice boost up as well. This may catch out Envy.
It's a complete change-up in Electronic's position. As opposed from Balk, he goes forward onto Porch. While Doja's good for one, Electronic and Seas then try to find their frags, and it's going to leave the CTs in a prime position unless Sixer can stop it here and now. Electronic tries to get into cover, and Sixer does the same, finding a little bit of safety and a little bit of space thanks to the Molotov. That's going to afford him the plant. Now, if he can hit 2 shots, this is still a very winnable round, but he's going to have to isolate the players or collateral them. Options. Not quite open as he's been pinned into the corner of the porch. Does get the chance, but Electronic gets the shot. And that right there is a 2K from Electronic based on his positioning above Porch. I really like that. They changed it up, and even though Team EnVyUs just comes stampeding out from Balk, they don't get much from it. Russia straight back with another round, tying things up at 5 apiece, but there's cash on both sides.
That there is. Close game as we expected, though, so far. Again, this is only a best of 1, and I imagine we're going to be seeing near 30 rounds, if not 30 rounds. We've seen 2 ties today. That's pretty crazy. It just shows, you know, the level of this group, how close most of these teams are, especially the quote-unquote top 3 that we expected to be VP, EnVy, Russia, even though that's not really turned out in effect, with Belgium being the team to get out of the group over VP. But the last fast play for EnVy. No AWP in this time. They just want to go rifles, and they're going quick as well. The fact that they actually opted not to go for the AWP, even though they had the money, means they want to go fast, and they will. Pushing back up towards long. It's going to be seized there. No smoke down, no smoke needed. RPK and XMS both finding openings, but it's RPK who doesn't check his corners. Over on B, he dies to Doja, but it doesn't matter because it's still a 3-on-3, and EnVy with that will start to wrap this B site because they know there's only 1 defender left. However, he has an AWP, and Doja will be making work of Kiyoshima. A quick kill found, and Happy tries to lurk out of the apartments, but he only gives away his position, and now EnVyUs are split up. Happy needs to find a frag here, otherwise it leaves Sixer in a really uncomfortable spot.
But Sixer himself is making Doja uncomfortable by just sitting inside that corner. Sixer now, having heard the scope, comes back. And Doja's just on full display. Great kill from Sixer, great opening as well. Happy still lurking on the other side of the map. He finds Flamey, and Electronic now knows that he can isolate this fight. He's got this in the bag. If he can kill Sixer, deals some damage, but Sixer flicks straight back. Nearly caught changing guns, but he gets himself onto the trusty op, gets himself the kill, and gets EnVyUs back in the lead here. 6-5, as we're just trading back and forth between these two lineups. In the end, that's going to help out EnVyUs because Team Russia now too broke to buy. 4K for World Edit should be used to invest back into the op when the rest of his team comes in with a purchase. But that is not here or now. It's just going to be a few pistols, Hugo. Double P250s and a CZ for the Russians to try and work with.
It's a grit your teeth round as EnVy have everything to play with, and Flamey looks to peek towards mid, but he won't. Instead of C's to push up. Flamey does as well, actually, in the meantime, but he's dead, as is C. So 2 picks already the way of the French. Electronic falls back in place of C's, tries to find this pick down towards apartments, but it's being held. P250 misses. And that's EnVy opening up A with 3 kills from the aggressive Russian players. Maybe, again, this could be a bait. That's why EnVy slowed down, just in case Russia have the last 2 players stacked on A as a, you know, try and get aggressive with 3. They die, and EnVy rush A and then walk into a couple more pistols and go down. But no, Russia are just playing default on this B side, just stacking, just waiting in case EnVy still walk into this side of the map. And it looks like they may. Kiyoshima close, needs to check the boost because there's still a player towards the back of the coffins. That's Doja, but as soon as Kiyoshima starts to move, Doja falls back, so he can't support World Edit any longer. And he's too focused towards CT as well, not expecting him to come up banana. Kiyoshima, another frag. RPK caught looking the wrong way, and Kiyoshima almost killed as well. Tag down to 17. Lots of damage done that round by Russia, but only resulting in 1 kill. Still, Eco has to be called in once again, unless they want to invest with not the most money. 2 players not even at 4K. Oh, they do it. I mean, Inferno is a map you can run this.
Yep,
Shotguns,
definitely.
SMGs.
So many close quarters combat.
Yep.
And the Mag 7. Juicy. Where's Electronic going to put it? I'm going to assume over on apps. He has been playing balcony quite frequently. Sometimes he pushes up closer towards boiler and allows for the teammate on arch to watch balc. Ooh. Hey, boy.
Love it.
It's supposed to extinguish the flames. Instead, Kiyoshima nearly slain, and he will have 29 health to work with. Flashbangs, smoke grenades. It's all moving forward, as is Doja right through. Oh, he gets behind them, comes back for a fight, and Kiyoshima gives him one. Sixer with a TK makes things a little awkward, but XMS continues on his journey towards the CT spawn. Seized into the back of construction, though. He's the only issue. Poor Electronic outgunned at this point. Able to upgrade into the op, misses the shot, and now he's all alone here, seized down. And as Electronic lingers, there's 4 terrorists ahead, one of which coming in from behind. Happy on the lurk. Classic.
The impact frags. Electronic just trying to make do with what he can with that AWP, but it's only 1 kill. Won't make too much effect as we're getting into the last 2 rounds of the half, and EnVy are rolling in money right now. Russia On the other hand, quite the opposite. Gotta eco this. There's no reason to invest. The only justification would be is they want another round to play with so they could potentially get a 7-8 half, but the risk is so much greater than the reward. 6 is looking all that's possible for Russia, and even then, not easy. Say, look to eco one more round, 2,900 in next. Envy, looking very good on this T side. Very strong start. Russia this time, 4-man stack up towards short. If Envy bursts the A bomb site, they'll be able to take them down, even with balcony control or coming out through boiler. Russia had the same situation. There's many, many players there, and there's one of them, Electronic dead though. Flaming unable to trade. Happy sprays down 2. Orb shot from 6 to connect as well, and EnVyUs Edge is dispatching of Russia. It's no issue so far. 3 kills in the favor of Envy and nothing in for Russia. Barely damage, only onto Happy.
Sixers still just holding his ground, and, well, Dozier's trying to do that very same thing. And as they creep forward, Dozier could get that headshot onto Kiyoshima. Kiyoshima tries to clear it. Dozier takes him back. Duels the RPK before the rest of the EnVyUs side show up. And he's not able to win that second fight. So at least a little bit of damage. Kiyoshima has to reinvest, not that he doesn't have cash to do it. Everybody on Envy's got money here for the 15th round. So they'll have everything they could possibly ask for. In Russia, nearly the same. Unfortunately for World Edit, he will be Glass Cannon. Doja, how often do you see this kind of an individual performance from him? 17 and 11, and nearly 10 frags ahead of anybody else on his team. We were just having this conversation,
I was about to say, you know, you said it's not rare Doja's at the top of the ball, but every now and then you just see him just have a stomp game, right? He's usually the man, especially in this roster as well. We've been seeing him kind of be the last guy standing in every situation. He hasn't been, you know, the point man for the team. And why would he be? There's so much firepower on this roster. But apparently Doja is part of that firepower. However, maybe not this round. He's got to show it. He's stuck in CT spawn, and that's exactly where XMS has wormed his way into, wrapping in. And that's why we've got these players towards the bottom of mid. They're waiting to push it to B, but with C's pushed down as well, while Russia are split up into 1v1s or 1vx's, they're still holding off Envy from going for this B split. That's why XMS is delayed. He's not committed to this push because he's waiting for Happy to create a distraction. He shall. Although he dies, it may be in good favor. As Russia still have split up players, Electronic peeks towards the top of middle and Sixer takes him down. Now it's all on C's because they're going to walk up towards B eventually. Or will they reconsider?
Ooh, they smoke it themselves. I feel like with C's being pushed down to the bottom of Banana, Electronic's peek down mid just gives away the man advantage. You know nobody's past that point, so where else could they be? Either inside apartments or sitting where you're about to peek. Right now, Flamey's going to be contested from both directions. He stands out in the open, and Keo takes that kill. Happily. Seized and Doja now going to have to come back in for the retake. Sixer with great positioning. He jumps onto the bicycle, which gives you just a sliver of an angle over the lip of the ledge. He makes it work, and Keo as well hits the head. EnVyUs with a hell of a T side.
I really like that last round as well, though, because you get XMS in the CT spawn, and the thing is with that position is it's so hard to get a player into CT without dying that typically when you actually see a team get that far and get a player there, they always commit to the B play because they go, okay, right, we may as well take advantage of this because typically it works, right? So we've got XMS here, let's make use of it. But instead of that, they find that pick onto Electronic, as you say, and they go, wait, let's just slow things down. We're not being pushed. We have the man up. We can potentially just walk back into A and take that round. And then they do. They don't commit to the B play, which would have been dangerous because you have those two players there. You have Doja holding on from the ruins. You have C's down Banana. And again, they don't know the positions of those players, but they know that there should only be one guy left on the A side. So nice reaction from Envy in the final round of the half. Picks them up double digits. And hell, this is a great map so far for them.
Yeah, definitely. Double digits and double the score of Team Russia as they swap over to the T side. Ooh, Happy kicks it off with a headshot straight down mid lane. This is going to allow for the 3-man stack down Banana to come charging forward. Happy's actually the only player here, so Seized overwhelming him, creates space, but RPK drops the bomb. Oh no, Doja tries to retrieve it. His legs have been spotted, but he still gets back into safety. World Edit trying to watch this wraparound has allowed for 3 CTs to cross, but they're hesitant. They don't know exactly where Russia got themselves into. Of course, this entire time, Sixers had the control of library, so they know that's at least cleared. Odds are someone's in the apps, and XMS turns his back, but Keo covers. A crucial kill to World Edit. Doja now on the bomb site. He'll be tested. Can he come up big? He's out of bullets. Knife pulled out, but Electronic down. And there we have it. EnVyUs with a pistol, an 11th round, and early momentum to their defensive side.
Hey, I guess that's a positive, right? Even without the kit needed as well, they get that retake. They give up A control. They have a heavy B setup, and that just means they can charge in mid. The second they hear those players rushing up towards mid, the second Happy gets overwhelmed, boom, they're already down Banana and shooting into the back lines. And because they're so fast down Banana, the players at top mid don't even realize they're being flanked. Nice reaction from Envy, good setup as well. Catches off Team Russia, and on the flip side, even if they rushed B, as you would expect, Envy would have plenty of players there. And okay, SMG is the name of the game on Inferno today. I don't think we've seen a team win a pistol on CT side and buy up more than one rifle on Inferno today out of all the games. 3 maps on Inferno.
It's one of those maps where it's really tempting to do because A, money's important on the CT side when you need all these grenades. Smokes and Molotovs are invaluable on Inferno. What's the fastest way to get that cash? Little SMG buy. Not to mention you save money, but you run the risk of being forced against.
Especially when you have one rifle on the other team. The same amount of rifles on both rosters, even though there's